Have you ever wondered how the Sun and the Earth came to be? Well, it all started with a giant cloud in space called a nebula. Nebulae are made of gas and dust left over from the death of an old star. Now, everything that has mass also has a gravitational pull. So even though these gas particles and dust motes are very, very small, they still have a gravitational pull. They still exert a small force pulling each other together. So that means over millions of years, these nebulae will collapse under their own self-gravity. And that gravitational potential energy gets transferred into kinetic energy as they move close together, and also thermal energy. It gets hotter as it gets smaller. And this eventually forms an object called a protostar. And that protostar continues to pull itself together to shrink down until eventually the pressure inside the protostar gets high enough to start something called nuclear fusion. This is where the nucleus of an atom will get pushed towards another nucleus and they will fuse into a larger single nucleus. Now, this releases a lot of energy. This is how stars generate their energy, nuclear fusion. When fusion happens, it releases tons of energy in the form of radiation. And this is why stars emit light and heat. So that is how the sun formed. Now, while all of this was going on, some of that gas and dust from the nebula was left over, orbiting around the outside of the sun. And the gas and dust started to clump together into tiny little pebbles, and those pebbles then started to clump together into little rocks. And those rocks got bigger and bigger until eventually giant balls of rock had formed, which would then go on to become the planets. So our solar system formed from a nebula collapsing under its own self-gravity, igniting fusion in the centre, allowing the sun to shine, with enough stuff left over around the outside for the Earth to form. Pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed this video. Space is probably my favourite topic, so I'll definitely be making more videos on this in the future. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it too.